Brooklyn Heights is located on the east coast of the United States in New York City within the borough of Brooklyn. The historic neighborhood lies directly across the East River from Lower Manhattan. The best way to get to Brooklyn Heights is by the subway at the Clark Street station of the 2 and 3 trains, or the Court Street station of the R train. Driving is not recommended as parking is extremely difficult to find and the small narrow streets can be difficult to maneuver.
Hey everyone, so where we are today is Brooklyn Heights. Now, Brooklyn Heights is often considered one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in Brooklyn, and it is one of the closest neighborhoods in Brooklyn to Manhattan, and it is also one of the oldest neighborhoods in Brooklyn. So there has been development in this area as early as the 17th century. So it really started when there was regular ferry service between Brooklyn and Manhattan, and this was in the late 1700s, early 1800s, right? So people who worked in Manhattan wanted to live a more suburban lifestyle. Now, if you look around the area, it doesn't look very suburban. It looks much more urban. But compared to Manhattan, this was kind of considered suburban, right? So it was actually quicker to get to Manhattan from here by ferry than it was on ground transportation from downtown Manhattan to upper Manhattan. So this became a very attractive community for early New Yorkers. Now, if you haven't already noticed, Brooklyn Heights is best known for its amazing architecture. So this is one of the neighborhoods in New York City that you can get some of the most original and oldest architecture in the city. So a lot of the brownstones that you're seeing, or most of them, are from before the Civil War. So architecture buffs are going to love it because all of the buildings have amazing character. They have like just the exquisite detail that you don't see in newer developments. So that's kind of Brooklyn Heights' main thing, right? Now, it wasn't always this way. So originally it was begun, like I mentioned, as an upper middle class community, similar to the population today. Over time, however, with the building of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway and shortly after the development of the Brooklyn Bridge in the 1880s, the neighborhood started to become a little more slummy, right? So a lot of these brownstones were originally single family. A lot more immigrants started coming into the community, right? So these single family houses kind of were divided into boarding houses, right? So the neighborhood started to kind of lose its original intent as a upper class bedroom community, and those original people left elsewhere. Now, after the establishment of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, the neighborhood kind of went into an economic ruin for a while. So it kind of became slummy around here, and that kind of consisted from the 1940s all the way up until like the late 1960s. In the 1960s, there was a revival in the neighborhood, so a lot of people came here to rehab these pre-Civil War brownstones, and from then on, it started to kind of attract an upper middle class community again, and that continues even until today. So you're going to see that around here. It's an upper middle class neighborhood. It's wealthy people, and they live in these beautiful brownstones. Now, one of the main things you have to check out when you're here in Brooklyn Heights is the Brooklyn Heights Promenade. So what it is basically an elevated park right above the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, and you have just sweeping views of New York Harbor, amazing views of the Statue of Liberty, amazing views of Lower Manhattan. It's really beautiful to see on like a nice summer day. We're here on a late winter day, so it's not as bumping, but there still are people out. So come here and make sure you check out the Brooklyn Heights Promenade. Heights is mainly a bedroom community, so you're going to see mostly residential zoning in the small neighborhood, but the services in the community are all along Montague Street, so we're going to see that now. So Montague Street is an area that cuts right through the center of the neighborhood. It's basically one street, and on Montague Street you have your normal services in a neighborhood. You know, you have your laundromats, grocery stores, things like that, but then you also have some kind of unique and quirky restaurants, stores, and some upper class restaurants and stores as well. Also, it's adjacent to the Brooklyn courthouse area, right? So you actually, along Montague Street, you have a lot of businesses and you have a lot of employees here. So it kind of gets busy around the lunchtime hour. So Brooklyn Heights beauty attracts the film industry, right? So a lot of films, a lot of shows take place right in this neighborhood. Two big ones are the Cosby Show. So the Cosby Show took place in Brooklyn Heights at a fictional address, but took place here. Secondly, the movie Moonstruck with Nicolas Cage and Cher in the 1980s, that was filmed right here. Okay guys, that was our small tour of Brooklyn Heights. So it's a small neighborhood, it's a residential neighborhood, but you also have a lot of quirky shops on Montague Street, as you saw. And it's also a great place to see amazing views of New York Harbor and Lower Manhattan at the Brooklyn Heights Promenade. Also, architecture and history buffs are gonna love this place. I mean, it is the home of some of the most well-preserved historic homes in New York City. So guys, if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. If you're interested and you want to learn a little bit more about Brooklyn Heights, check out the link below. There's a bunch of cool stuff you could buy. And leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think, if there's anything I missed, or if you have any questions at all. Okay guys, until next time, take care.